Hello, No Future. Are you there with me?
Yes, I am here. How you doing? I thought you were sleeping there for a second, Jesse. You looked like you were asleep.
I was nodding off. It's very comfortable here in the Gotchiverse. So that's the main topic for today. No Future, are you up for a trip to a preview of the Gotchiverse?
Yes, I want to see that transition from 2D to 3D as you're seeing it slowly happen. I want to see, go on a trip.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a ride, buy the ticket, take the ride. But that's going to be where we go for the next half hour or so together. We got a ton of footage, a ton of clips. And No Future, you may not know this, but I'm very deeply involved in the Gotchiverse development right now with the team. We actually just came off a team call, a sprint review, just 30 minutes ago. And so, yeah, I'm ready to spill the beans, give all the details, and just start getting the word out that the Gotchiverse is returning, and it's returning in a big way here very, very soon.
Jesse, let me ask you real quick. Like, when you say you're with the team, what does that mean? What does that outline? What do you do day to day with the Gotchiverse team?
Yeah, so of the many hats I wear, I guess technically I'm the director of the Gotchiverse right now, and what that means is I'm coordinating and making decisions to make sure that everybody's aligned and delivering an awesome metaverse that's different than anything that's come before it. And so that's kind of been our mission from the start, is to make sure the Gotchiverse offers something that we haven't really seen in crypto gaming before. And that means whether it's gameplay experiences, opportunities for on-chain experiences and mints. Those are some of the things that I'm helping the team make sure we build towards. And so the team is about there's about a dozen of us full-time on the Gotchiverse. And the day-to-day is pretty busy. We've got 3 team-wide meetings each week, beginning, middle, and end of the week. Like I said, we just finished our midweek sprint check-in. And we just kind of coordinate and build out those. So we've got our Unity devs, we've got a robust back-end team, we've got 3D creators and animators, and stellar on concept art. So it's really become quite a team effort to bring this world together. And you can see a lot of the work in progress footage here from what we've been building over the last, I'd say, 4 months. And it's kind of tricky if people ask how long we've been working on the Gotchiverse, because there is a lot of pieces to this that are years old, right? Gotchiverse 2D has been live for 2+ years easily. And we're going to respect and keep a lot of that gameplay and a lot of the back end and infrastructure. We're going to use it and keep using it. But, obviously now we're moving 3D. We're going on Unity. It opens up a ton of gameplay possibilities. You can ship more faster. So that's what we're busy doing, working towards a big release in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Just seeing the footage and everything that's being shown right now, it gets me amped, because I'm seeing the Gotchi run along the road and just remembering what 2D version of that felt like, and now actually seeing it in 3D and actually moving and playing around in the environment itself is a whole different experience.
Yeah. So I look forward to jumping into some of the further details of the game and how you can enjoy the Gotchiverse soon. But maybe before we do that, it is the Alpha Hour. Would you mind helping me to run through the biggest developments across Aavegotchi this week? Because there's a number of them. And it's unbelievable how much stuff is happening in the Aavegotchi world.
Yeah, sure. We'll jump in real quick. We're going to be talking mostly about the Gotchi 3D coming soon, Gotchiverse. But Eminent, we have a test net for Geist coming Eminent. Polter. Can you talk a little bit about that? Tell us what does that mean for GotchiGang?
Yeah. We're hours to days away from Polter going live. This is the Geist testnet, or our L3 gaming blockchain, and it should be live very, very soon. We're basically working through some stuff with the RPCs, some of our third-party partners that we have to work with, get all that infrastructure up. You can't launch till everything is 110% ready. So there's just one little thing we're working through, and then we're ready to push the button.
Amazing. Yeah, we also had Gotchi points are coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. There's going to be some Alchemica interactions there. Ubisoft showed up at the GotchiGang hangout. We all saw that amazing post from Tim. Shout out to T-Bird. Yeah, they showed up and they kind of talked about their gaming experience, and it was a little vague, but I'm looking forward to hearing like what the full idea. Can you give us any information? This is the alpha hour, so I feel like I gotta ask, like, any like further discussion we can glean from that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Ubisoft's coming into our Saturday community call and multiple people from their team coming in and chatting with us, that's a relationship we've been working through over I think over a year now. It's a maturing relationship, and there's a lot of we're going to do together. So I know it was pretty vague on the community call. They didn't want to spill any beans, but I think that's more of like how it is with big companies and having to just be very careful about what they can and can't say. So I wish I could share more, but I would just say that like they wouldn't be coming to our hangouts if we weren't very seriously working through details for stuff we could do together. But long and short of it is Aavegotchi as IP is one of the best crypto native IPs in the world, and it goes to reason that any major company that wants to get exposed to Web3 gaming would be open to talking to someone like Aavegotchi and working with a brand like Aavegotchi. So I think Ubisoft and Aavegotchi working together across multiple games is a perfect match. I can see my Gotchi playing with a raving rabbit pretty quickly and getting along just fine.
Yeah, it's huge news. I'm looking forward to getting more information. We'll continue on with the headlines. Friends, Third Web gave us a shout out. I'll show you the post. It's saying, having the right token on the right chain is crypto's biggest UX problem. To fix this, Aavegotchi integrated Third Web Pay, letting you buy the native token Ghost using crypto or credit card. Secure CC checkout, that's credit card checkout, with Stripe cross-chain token routing abstracted by Third Web. So it's just another one of these things we've talked about in the past, stripping away layers of friction to the onboarding experience. And with this Third Web shout out, you can see clearly it's a little easier to get into the ecosystem via credit card if you want to play around with these ghosts that poop money.
And that's what we do. That's what our ghosts do anyway. So yeah, Third Web, huge shout out. We're so integrated with them. We use Third Web for everything with the upcoming Geist launch. Your player profile, we're going to talk about that more in a minute here. Creating an account, Third Web is just so powerful for processing payments and making the UX way smoother. So we're well aligned with them. We've been working with them a long time too, and I think we picked the right racehorse for our infrastructure here. Third Web's been great.
Yeah, 100% agree. Friends, we also had a Gotchi U video drop about lending. We also had a very important post come out, Aavegotchi missions in Sandbox Alpha Season 4 starting today. Our friends at the Gotchi French Army made a post. It's a nice little video of a Gotchi in the Sandbox environment in a party. It's Alpha Season 4 starting today, and make sure to register and do all the things that you're supposed to do to get involved in that. Let's see what else we got.
Yeah,
we already.
I can help on that one too. Like, you definitely want to get signed up for season 4 with
Season 4.
Yeah, with the Sandbox, and it's really cool. If you haven't experienced the original Aavegotchi Sandbox game that was built by the Gotchi French Army, it's still live. You can go play it right now. It's on the map in the Sandbox. But they're working on a multiplayer game currently, the same French Army team. This multiplayer game will be nice because it'll be the first time we've been in the Sandbox in a competitive sense with our Aavegotchis. And what they took literally every Aavegotchi and made the voxel version of it, your wearables, everything. And so I just talked with the team yesterday, and what I'm hearing is you want to sign up for the season now so that you get the points, you get all the benefits that come with being part of this season. So don't wait on that. But then the season continues for a while. And so the big week where they promote this multiplayer Gotchi experience is still a few weeks off, probably mid-November. So be on the lookout for that. But if you want to be a part of it, you should get signed up now. Don't wait.
Yeah, amazing, friends. Make sure to take the steps and sign up and get involved. We just had Rarity Farming Season 9 concluded. Tears roll down the Gotchi face. It was good. I still haven't pulled my ghost from my Gotchi. I want to give a shout out to Web320. He's a GotchiGang member. He figured out ways to make deposits. Like he built a UI to deposit and withdraw your ghost from your Gotchi, but also put other ERC20 tokens on the Gotchi. So he's just been a community member who's been grinding in the background. I'm happy to get my Gotchi stimmy. I'm going to let it sit inside of my Gotchi for a little bit because that's what they do. And yeah, season 10, we'll probably see a core prop coming through, sig prop, or at least a discussion pretty soon. So keep an eye out for that. We also have the Gotchi Battler Fantasy Draft that happened last weekend, I believe right after the Hangout. We're going to go check it out. 250 Ghost Fantasy Tournament. They hosted, I believe Light Piglet won the tournament, if I'm not mistaken, but they'll be doing live drafts. They did this after the Dow Call Single Elimination Tournament on Sunday. Yeah, keep an eye out. They might be doing more of these kind of tournaments. It seemed like a very interesting mechanic and evolution of Gotchi Battler. Did you participate in the fantasy draft?
No, I did not. I missed out. I know I'm missing Alpha on my own Alpha hour, but that's the honest answer.
Yeah, I couldn't participate. We had a couple hours going, and of the hangout, a lot of good discussion. But yeah, I think let's see. I think it was Light Piglet who won. Just trying to see the results. Winner was Light Piglet. White Piglet took the chip. Players drafted Gotchis and created their strongest team formation. And yeah, 30 teams battled out against each other for the Ghost. So only 30 teams got involved, friends. So there's definitely opportunity there if you want to play to earn in our ecosystem.
I think that's such a cool concept, this fantasy draft approach. It's really a good idea and makes it, I think, accessible to anybody, right? Like you can just jump in and have a try and get to know all about Aavegotchis that way. So I was really happy to see that. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, 100% agree. We also had a Tokyo game night that was is being hosted by Arbitrum, September 29th. It happened. Let's see, Aavegotchi Alchemy Labs at Tokyo's newest monthly gaming and networking event following Tokyo Game Show 2024. Check out games from Aavegotchi and Arbitrum. You can see this amazing. I'm guessing Stellar Hobbs was involved in this graphic design.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
Stellar lead design basically at Pixelcraft, and you see his work, you know it when you see it. Very nice flyer, very nice work.
So this is going to be a monthly event. Is it going to be happening at the same venue every month? TGS Centrum Magnet?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a regular thing. We've got a long-term partnership there with Arbitrum and all the teams organizing in Tokyo. We want to do this more.
Amazing. Yeah. And our last piece of news, I'm trying to move my screen so I can read it without my Gotchi going into poltergeist mode. These 8 Geist. So we had the announcement today. It was an Aavegotchi update coming from Midnight Ghost. Shout out to Midnight Ghost. New ERC 1155 features and updates now live in the DApp. We've just launched some awesome new features and bug fixes in the Aavegotchi DApp, everyone. New features include ERC 1155 offers. You can now make offers directly to other users for wearables and other ERC 1155 items like the decorations. Explore page, you can now explore all Aavegotchi, Gotchiverse, and fake Gotchi assets across both ERC 1155 and ERC 721 tokens. Some UI UX improvements have been noted. The Bizarre Activity CSV export has been fixed for smoother data handling, and they've updated the publisher and artist names in the fake Gotchi drill down for more accurate info on each piece. Ooh, that's good because I have a lot of fake Gotchis, so I have to track them. If you have feedback or suggestions, there is a UI UX thread you can find in the Discord announcements under Aavegotchi updates. And yeah, that's all of the news for the day here. Jesse,
you kind of saved the best for last in terms of product. That's a long time coming. And just to reiterate, what this really means is you can go to Aavegotchi.com, go to the market, and you can see all the different Aavegotchi ecosystem NFTs, regardless of category or type. You can see them all now, whether they're listed for sale or not. Previously, if you went to the bazaar, you would only see the NFTs that are listed for sale. So this is a big change, right? Now you can actually explore and get to know the wider market in a presentation that's very similar to the bazaar, but it's both listed and unlisted items. So I think that's a huge deal. And I think the second part of that, with specifically for fake Gotchis, that's the kind of premium Aavegotchi art collection. having more detail and ways to search that is also a long time coming. So maybe not the final answer, but a big move in the right direction, and really open for everybody's feedback, and hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, offers is big. I mentioned it on the space I hosted this morning. It was the first thing I mentioned when the news dropped because I was like, this is something we've wanted for a while. There are a lot of people who are not super active in the DAO or in the Discord, but if you could put offers in, they might consider taking them. So it's like, it just gives us a way to try to, like, tap into that market a little bit as traders in a different way, like beyond just like GBM auctions, which I also enjoy.
Yeah, well said. It's all about offering more options and making things more efficient. So big upgrades on the website, big upgrades for everybody holding Aavegotchi assets. And I see some comments coming in from the chat. Keep those coming. We read them all. AlGG is saying, please update the Bazaar CSV export tool to direct Dune Analytics integrations. And yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. We love Dune. We want to have data for Geist. We want curated tables. So I can help double check on that and see what we can do there to make things more compatible.
Amazing. Yes.
All right. Well, No Future. You play all the Gotchi games. You've played a lot of Gotchiverse 2D, the original 2D Gotchiverse. What have you seen now? We do basically a little bit of snippet, a little update every Saturday on our community call. We'll talk about Gotchiverse for a few minutes every call and share kind of the latest. But we've been doing that for a couple months now. And up to this point, what would your recap be? What's what do you know about the Gotchiverse 3D so far, and how would you describe it to somebody who knows nothing about it?
Okay, yeah. I still daily use the 2D version of the Gotchiverse because I go in and farm still. So if you're in the 2D verse and you've seen it before, the transition to the 3D is very similar in the sense that you're seeing your decorations, you're seeing your parcel and your structures. I've seen some of the flyover videos. I love the idea that the Gotchi can fly. I love that the Gotchi getting on a road, it running on a road feels like it running on the road. In 2D that was cool, but in 3D it's like it just feels more epic. Everything feels larger and more expansive, even though from what I've heard, this initial run is not going to be the full citadel. It's going to be part of a district or maybe a couple districts. So it still feels large. In the 2D Gotchiverse, it felt endless at times, which was cool. But just seeing that transition from 2D to 3D and, some of the transition of the decorations and the various items that you can have on your parcel has been pretty impressive for me.
Yeah, very good points. And I'll try to fill in some of the blanks here over the next few minutes and invite the audience listening to leave comments, suggestions, feedback on which features you see demonstrated here and which ones you like, which ones you don't like, or are most excited about. So we'd love to know which parts of the following Gotchiverse information you find most interesting. But yeah, I think it is a little bit different in this particular case. When we go live with 3D, it won't have full feature parity with 2D yet. 2D, you can do farming, you can build your parcels out. There's literally thousands of parcels over 50 plus districts that are full of customizability. In this case, what we want to go live with right after the Geist blockchain goes live is a launch party in the Gotchiverse. And that will be great for us. It's at Pixelcraft, the team building. We want to be able to get it out there and test our infrastructure, make sure everything's running really smooth before we put that next layer on the cake, which will be building and farming and all of that. So we'll start with this launch party. You can see these beautiful invitations that we've got prepped here, looking ready to go out. We're going to be inviting a lot of old friends, a lot of new friends, everybody to the party. And we'll literally be partying inside of a blockchain. Geist will be just a few days old at that point, a few blocks old, and we'll be inside partying inside this metaverse that's directly linked to this brand new blockchain. So one way I like to think about it is just that. We are launching a new blockchain that comes with its own metaverse right out the box. so they're like attached at the hip. I think that's really a unique aspect here. I don't think there's any other blockchain that's launched with its own like 3D world to explore aspects of that blockchain. And so this is kind of the premise of what's special about the Gotchiverse right from the start. I just saw a question. Any special guests? Yes, that's why these beautiful invitations are on the screen. We are sending out launch party invitations to a lot of dear friends and what would definitely qualify as special guests. So we've had a lot of help along the way, a lot of partners for the Gotchiverse specifically, for Geist, and through the years. So this will be our best party yet. GotchiGang getting together in 3D, all the 3D wearables done, and celebrating together with each other. So looking forward to doing that at the end of this month. We're looking at the first Saturday of November, actually, because if Geist does go live when we want it to, then it's going to be a very spooky time of the year, wink, wink. And then the very first Saturday after that, we can host our community call in the Gotchiverse and have a proper party.
So let me ask you then, well, for this party in the Gotchiverse, first 3D version of the Gotchiverse party, will Geist membership be required?
Yeah, so it will not be required. The Geist membership is a big deal because Geist is a members-only blockchain. And so what that means is, yes, if you get an invitation, if you want to become a member, you need to go get an invitation and accept it and then join. If you do that, you're going to get access to a lot of premium NFT drops, airdrops, content. Sky's the limit. Anything on chain you can imagine, priority goes to the members. And so this will help a lot with Sybil attacks, with farming, with all sorts of extractor activity. But to answer your question, for the Gotchiverse, it's the first party. We want the world to see it. We want everybody to feel welcome. So anyone will be able to access the Gotchiverse day one. And in fact, we'll all be sharing links across socials that clicking that link immediately pulls you into the Gotchiverse. No big decisions to make. It's going to be super easy to onboard and join us in the Gotchiverse party. So my hope is that a ton of people who have never owned an Aavegotchi are also able to come in without any friction and see what world we're living in and what we're about. And that should be rule number one. And then there are exclusive mints that will periodically happen when you're in the Gotchiverse. And I think this is a big, unique selling point for the Gotchiverse. It's a differentiator. When you go and want to get exclusive mints for the Geist chain, the first place you should think of is it's probably happening in the Gotchiverse. So distribution of brand new NFTs, content, all sorts of collectible drops, those are going to happen when you're willing to get in the Gotchiverse. And there's kind of a tier of accessibility. So if you're a Geist member, you're getting all the different drops. You're getting access to everything, all the mints. For the launch party, you may not be a full Geist member yet, but you've at least made a Aavegotchi profile. You've connected social media links ups with Third Web, and boom, you've got a player profile. Then that's enough to get you one of the big activities that does turn into an on-chain mint. We're going to have 2 on-chain mints, at least 2, at the launch party. And so if you show up to the party and you participate, even if you're not a Geist member, you're going to be able to go home with at least contributing to one of those mints. You'll be able to participate. And so happy to go through those mints with you guys and talk about, what you can do in this party that's going to lead to on-chain collectibles.
Yeah, please. I'm all ears.
Sure. So let's see. Maybe we got some footage of this, but we've got. Let's take a look at the party here. We got Goobs producing in the back. Let's see the Gotchiverse while we share what we will be doing, because we're going to be running around this this 3D world, and the first mission we're going to have is to go and collect different cameras. You think about a metaverse, it's social. And so we're going to gamify the social layers. And so, yeah, here you can see a new badge. You will be able to earn badges for that one. Looks like for taking a picture. And so when you take a picture, you're going to earn a badge. That's an on-chain activity. That's an achievement for your player profile. technically a non-transferable NFT. But then the more exciting part about this is you're looking to get your friends together, get them to try out all the different animations, all the different power-ups, organize it in such a way to get get the best photo. And then you take the photos together, and at the end, you can choose to keep the photo or mint it. And you can mint up to 2 photos during the party. And so that's kind of the collection for a commemorative collection for launch day. We don't know the final cap of photos, right? It could be 100, it could be 1,000, it could be 10,000, but we know that basically it's an open edition for the duration of the launch party window. So we're probably going to do an 8-hour window where you can go in and join this launch, and the cameras will be spawning, and you can take photos with your friends. And there's basic metadata, like the collection is a photo series in the Gotchiverse. This will be an ongoing series. Occasionally we'll have these photo competitions. And then it will record the user profile that took the photo. So that's the photographer. And so maybe one of you will get famous for being a great photographer in the Gotchiverse, and your photos will be the most desirable, the most collectible. I know I would be happy to collect all of No Future's photos because you're actually a very good photographer, aren't you?
Yeah. Also, T-Bird. T-Bird's a great photographer. So we have some Contact also. Contact is another great photographer in GotchiGang. There's a bunch of us.
Right. So you guys are the first ones I'm going to go to and try to collect your photos. We'll see how good you are at taking pictures in the metaverse. But yes, we'll have these photos. There's a limited cap on them, so you want to get a good photo. You want to make it count. There's a token ID, so I can imagine that there's some sentimental value and collectability to these, and there'll be ways to display these photos in the Gotchiverse going forward. Imagine being in the lodge, and maybe the lodge comes with photo albums, and you can start actually creating collections and displays and different things like that. So yeah, we're going to start with a great photo shoot. It's a great way to explore this giant new map. The party is taking place in District 1. District 1 is a rather massive downtown district for the Gotchiverse. There's the King's Castle, the DAO headquarters, the Great Portal itself. So a lot of lore and a lot of major landmarks are in this area. And so the way it will work is the spawning of the cameras are on a very specific schedule. And so it's going to take us almost on a guided tour where initially we're in a dance club. We all spawn in the dance club. We have a party, and then the roof is going to open. We're all going to be able to go explore the rest of the world. When we do, there's going to be this big beam of light that tells you, hey, there's some cameras over there. Let's see if you're one of the first ones to collect and take a photo. And then what will happen is for the next however many minutes, it's going to spawn at different landmarks across D1 bit by bit, not all at the same time. So we're going to kind of be competing to be you want to be early and get the cameras first, take great shots, and then maybe save a camera for later because there'll be some surprises, throughout the party and some cool things to photograph. So that's kind of like the photo safari, the Pokemon Snap aspect of this. And I love that it ends with an on-chain aspect where, you're going to have the opportunity to save 2 of these photos and have them minted with your name on it. And all you got to do is make a user profile, connect that social media account, and create a Gotchi player profile.
Yeah, I love it. It kind of makes me think of film photography, where it's like every shot counts, and there's only so many on the roll before you're done. So you got to really pace yourself.
I don't know if we have a picture of this, but it's like a pickup item, and the original design that I was fond of was a film roll. And I was like, because we're making photos scarce again. So we're embracing digital scarcity, but with photos. And yeah, the pickup was going to be this film reel. But after some A/B testing, we realized that a lot of people don't even know what a film reel is at this point. People younger than us know future. So I was like, well, all right, we'll go with the camera. At least they should recognize what a camera is, I hope. So yes, there will be beautiful cameras to pick up, lots of photos to take, pose with your friends. We've got tons of animations and talk bubbles and power-ups, different activities you can do to bring your Gotchi to life for those photos. And then there's a second mint that will also happen, and this one is more of a proof of attendance type of play. So something I think a lot of OGs in the crypto space care about is, were you there? Were you really present? And POAs like the POAPs have always been a super popular feature in many parts of crypto. You're gonna have two ways to indicate you were there. You're gonna have the badges that you see here, a list of badges to collect for doing different activities inside the launch party. But the other one will be a guest book. And so we're going to go up to the King's Castle. We're going to explore that area, find the guest book, and you're going to want to make sure to sign that. But the trick is only members are able to sign the guest book. So if you're a guest, if you're a visitor just browsing through, you're going to miss out on that part. You're going to be prompted to go make an account. But for the rest of us, we will be able to sign the guest book. Our name will forever be recorded on chain as having attended the commemorative launch party. And there will be a beautiful NFT collectible that is minted for you shortly after you sign that guest book. And so that will be an exclusive item. Again, the cap of how many of those postcards, we're calling them postcards, the cap on how many will exist, it will depend entirely on how many members attend on day one and sign the guest book. But those will be really cool because they're tradable. They'll be tradable in the bazaar and the marketplace, just like the photos. And it's basically the first of many event-based kind of stamps. I mean, if you know stamp collecting, we all know about it from the NFT world. This will be a very pleasant series of collections to have. And this one will be very much focused on the launch party. There will be others in the future. And you can build a very nice collection. But the only way to mint it is to be present in the Gotchiverse.
Yeah, got to participate, get in on the launch party, and then you can work on these things.
Yeah. Now I see a good question here. Many may be wondering, can you clarify who the very first members are? Aavegotchi owners or more? And if you want to be a Geist member, that's like tier 1. Geist members, you need an invitation. And the initial batch of invitations, these are on-chain invitations, will be airdropped to Aavegotchi owners based on a certain snapshot date. I don't believe that snapshot's been taken yet, unless you've heard an announcement otherwise, no future. I'm pretty sure that hasn't happened. So still got a chance. You want to get an invite, you want to be early to Geist, your surest bet is to be the proud owner of an Aavegotchi. And yeah, they will all get some invites. And without that invite, you're not going to be able to become a Geist member. We're going for more healthy, organic growth, and no bots, no botting, no multi-accounting, none of that. So I think I love the exclusivity of it, and I think it's going to work really well for what we're trying to do here in the Gotchiverse. What else could we show off here? I think we prepared a lot more visual footage here. Maybe we can talk about some of the Gotchiverse loading screens, or even start something with something like that right from the beginning. Let's see if Goobs can throw some more goodies on screen here. Oh yeah, check this out. This is a very low res version of it, a little alpha here. This is more the storytelling aspect of the game. We want to make sure that we go super meta with it. And so after you go to Gotchiverse.io, you log into the game, you hit play, there's a loading screen, very brief hopefully. And then the next thing you see is a trading screen. And hopefully this doesn't look too familiar, no future, but you're going to see a highly leveraged trading account, and it's going to get wrecked. It's going to have a big red candle go off the screen, off the bottom of the screen. And it's at that moment you knew you messed up. And it's going to say something along the lines of Spirit Force creation initialized. And I think instead of wake up, it might say something like, do you believe in second chances? And just two Aavegotchi eyes kind of glowing in the back. And then, of course, you say yes. And then you, as the human who just got liquidated on that trade, you're going to open your eyes and you're going to be in the warm embrace of the Gotchiverse. And so it really sets the stage. We've always said Aavegotchis are liquidated DeFi farmers. They're degens. These are people that have been wrecked along the way and reborn as Aavegotchis. And so we're taking that literal and putting that story right in the front of your entrance into the Gotchiverse.
Yeah, man, I've seen that screen. Oof.
Yeah, so it should be pretty cool. It should really suck people in and give them some context on like, why are you here? Why are you an Aavegotchi? It's like, well, something similar to what you just saw on screen probably happened, and that's how you get here. So yeah, and this is like a very nice but very quick kind of storyboard of it. The final version is going to be pretty fire. So this is just storyboard here.
Yeah, it's very. It definitely hits the nostalgia because it just like gives me like Game Boy or Nintendo 64 vibes, or Nintendo regular, not even 64. It's like, oh yeah.
Yep. Super OG in that sense. And then yeah, you're gonna wake up and be like, I mean, just imagine you got wrecked and then you wake up and you're in the middle of a dance hall, dancing with a bunch of ghosts on Halloween weekend. That sounds like a good time to me. I mean, pretty wild.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be like a lot of fun, especially if I can bring my if I have my basketball and my wand, I'm ready for it.
Well, yeah, let's pull up some of the Choose a Gotchi screen. So you're going to be able to see, a nice new character select screen that I think has come a long way. Very, very excited for this. You've got, here it is. You can see your traits are on the infamous bell curve. So if you know Aavegotchis, you know our on-chain traits actually track on a bell curve. You want to be on the outer limits, more rare, more valuable, and making your Gotchi more distinct. But if you own multiple Gotchis, you're going to have a bunch of options there on the left side of your screen. If you don't own Aavegotchis, but you've created a social account, you are going to see that one that's like a Naked Gotchi and he's in a pink box. You're going to be able to at least spawn with a kind of free Gotchi right there from the start. And you'll probably be able to choose you won't be able to dress it, but you'll be able to choose what collateral you want. Do you want it to be a Ethereum themed Aavegotchi or a Bitcoin themed Aavegotchi, that kind of thing with the forehead Spirit Force symbol. But yeah, it's going to basically be set up in a way where, hey, it's nice, I can play, but it just makes me want to borrow or buy a real Aavegotchi even more. And so I hope it works out that way. And it's very nice to just see all the Aavegotchis you own displayed in high-res 3D in such a way.
Yeah, they look great. I can't wait to see mine fully like running around in the Gotchiverse. I love the Citadel Knight. It looks so good. Same thing with the Farmer.
Yep. Super classic, and all wearables are ready to go for the Gotchiverse. So we'll be in a good spot there. Can't wait to see everybody in 3D. And I can say we've done just now on the team call, we had about 10 of us in the Gotchiverse together. And the Gotchis that were just naked, I mean, they're fine, they're cool, but it's so much better when you have a dressed up Gotchi in 3D. Like Stellar's is all dressed up with like the sushi outfit, and it just pops. It's so cool to see these Gotchis in the Gotchiverse. I think it's something we're going to really enjoy. Just that alone on the launch party, I'll be running around checking everybody out and talk bubbling away, making conversation.
For this launch party, we did the 2D Gotchiverse launch party, and there was I think we had a limit that we never reached, but a limit of the number of people that could be in the same instance at once. Is there anything like that will be in play during the launch party?
Yeah, that's definitely a real thing. If you recall the version we built on Phaser, the 2D version, we built a lot of bespoke infrastructure to support that and to make it possible to have theoretically hundreds of Gotchis on screen together in one instance. Because we really, maybe to a fault, we were pretty obsessed with not breaking the illusion and keeping everybody on one instance together. But as we, moved to Unity and looked at what other best practices are out there, it became pretty apparent. It's just a battle not worth fighting right now. You can do it, but the costs are absolutely crazy, and the payoff doesn't necessarily guarantee a better gameplay experience. So the decision here has been made to make sure, like, what is the ideal number of people you need to be able to have on the same map and have a good time, or host on one of your parcels if you're hosting a party. The answer is probably a max at any given moment of like up to 80 is what we can do right off the bat. And theoretically, if push comes to shove, there's a ton of demand for use cases beyond that. We could probably get up to 200 gotchis on screen together, but it may really start to compromise the WebGL build and connectivity issues, all that good stuff. So yeah, for now, I think I'm really excited. We'll have this party, and I hope we fill 100 lobbies with 80 gotchis each, and that's what it'll probably be. So when we're in the dance floor, and when we've designed a lot of like the size of a building in the Gotchiverse, we're thinking about, does this dance floor feel good with 60 to 80 gotchis on it? Because it's possible that sometimes there'd be less, and then also you want to be able to pack the place and not run out of space. So 60 to 80 gotchis has been kind of the magic number as we design things and scale them.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, that's like I think of a house party where it's like, all right, there's too many people now. Everybody's out on the yard. These are going to be considerations. Like if you throw, too big of a rager, so you got to like make sure everybody fits in a comfortable way.
Yeah, red cups on the lawn.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Maybe we can show off a few more things and answer a few more questions and see what we can do here. But yeah, we've got badges. We talked about badges a bit. Maybe we can pull up the first 9 badges. I think we've got a clip for this. Here we go. Yeah, we've got some badges to collect. And they kind of run the mill of being related to the photography we talked about. But also other things like the one in the corner, it says fall off the edge of the Gotchiverse. And so this is kind of a fun thing that people may just literally stumble across in the verse. It's not like something they have to be told about. But, there was a decision made pretty early on that when you get to the edge of District 1, it's like the flat Earth. Like, are you going to fall off the edge of the Earth or not? And instead of being like, let's just put a wall and not let people cross the force field. Instead, it's going to be more like, yes, you can fall off the edge, and your gotchi will get wrecked, and you'll have to respawn. And so there's some cool like mini gamification where you could fly, and your flight bar, how much flight energy you have, and we can see which gotchis fly the farthest without totally, falling off the edge and not making it back safely. I see some space here for some playground games, some friendly competitions. And you can earn that badge by simply falling off the edge of the Gotchiverse. So there's some funny ones like that. But there's also, yeah. So we can do a little competition. I'm happy to see who can fly the best. And then others, if you're squinting and trying to read this, you might see things like NPCs. We are populating the world with a bunch of different NPC characters that are going to be adding humor, adding lore, adding how-tos, guidance, a little bit of everything into the Gotchiverse. And so the world will be alive with, I think it's now 35 plus NPCs that are already, ready for the launch party. So we'll be joined by them. They'll have their things to say. And if you talk to enough of them, you also get some badges indicating your social aptitude. So yeah, I see here on screen, this was an early mock-up of an NPC. He's like an oversized gotchi. You may have noticed he looks a little large, which is kind of funny. It makes him somehow not look like a real gotchi. But that's already been fixed. I don't know why that one was so big, but they're cute, right? They'll wave to you, say hello, and then tell you something that you need to know. And really, that's just the beginning of much more complex dialogue trees and missions and quests that we can do with NPCs in the near future.
Yeah, I love the badges because the whole questing thing. Like in SFA, there were certain badges you can get, like to do 2 victories without using a ranged weapon. So it's like you start badge hunting, which is in of itself like a quest in a way, because you're just going out there with like this goal. Like, I'm just going to go out and make sure I can win 2 rounds with just melee. Like, I love that. So finding the edge of the world, tracking who's flying the most, I think those are really cool because like we can get granular in our gameplay.
Yeah, we can do a ton with that, and there's almost an infinite list of like different activities you can incentivize or reward across a metaverse like this. So this is a big world. This D1, District 1 as we're calling it, it's brimming with like different landmarks and things we can go do. And so even though the launch party happens let's say early November, we see this as kind of an event-based metaverse, at least initially. Like, we will try to ship a new experience almost week to week. So just get used to having, Saturday hangouts in the verse and earning new badges, earning new mints, unlocking open editions, all that good stuff as new features get shipped week to week.
Yeah, it's amazing. I can't wait.
One of the big things we're going to ship, probably it'll take about a month after the launch, so it's like the next proper like major update, will be the farming in the Gotchiverse. We're going to be able to farm all the Alchemica tokens from our land parcels in our 3D verse. And so what that means is when we say farming, it also means we don't just have the District 1 map, but that's going to open it up to all 50 plus other districts. You're going to be able to fly around and explore every single massive district, every unique land plot, how it's decorated, how it's farmed. It's all going to be live and supported. And then you're going to be able to go and continue your own farming and building and decorating your parcels to make them great places to host future events. So here you can see a beautiful UI of how you will manage your parcel in this new version. And I would say visually it's come a long way from the 2D one, but take a look for yourself. Every parcel needs an altar, right? That's like the first major item you put on a parcel. And so your altar can go from level 1 to level 9, and you can channel Alchemica tokens occasionally from that altar. So you're going to have all that right there in this beautiful modal waiting for you to access. Oh, and here's the gold version. For all you super OGs with the gold altar, if you've got a golden altar on your parcel, then even the pop-ups and modals recognize that. And you kind of get a bit of a curated experience. So even everything reacts to that, and you'll get the gold. But yeah, there's a level 9 golden altar ready to be channeled. You can see how much Alchemica is still under the ground waiting to be farmed, empty your reservoirs, and basically manage all of that, including access rights right from your parcel. And so this will ship more, like I said, about a month after the launch party. Next big update's already being worked on.
Yeah, this feels like the alpha in the alpha hour. I love seeing this image here. The NPCs look cool, but just as a person who still interacts with farming and channeling, it just looks so great. You see that Stellar Hobbs stamp all over this in terms of the art, and it's just so attractive.
Yep. It's looking really good, and hopefully it's easy on the eyes, and just it should be fun, right? It shouldn't feel like work. So you want to enjoy like getting all the information on your parcel and making adjustments. Yeah, I don't know if we have any other, maybe we have some harvester, the actual like farming equipment. Maybe we have some of that in 3D. It's totally possible many on this call have never seen that before. So Goobs, if you want to show some early work on that. Oh, this is early VFX, yeah. This is this is one of the, is that a Keck? A level 1 Keck harvester? I think so. Oh, there, that's the upgrade VFX. So it's just upgrade to level 2. So yeah, we have a ton of those, including the reservoirs, all that good stuff. Here's a nice one, yeah. This is a reservoir for your Alpha. And you can see we're experimenting with inside of the translucent bottles, like how much Alpha do you see? Can you see how it fills and empties? All this kind of good stuff. Now I want a reservoir. I don't know why, but it looks very, very relaxing.
Just so, do these installations make sounds when you go near them?
Yeah, I think they do. We've been working on getting like spatial spatial sound effects to work in the Gotchiverse. Now, they may not be live for the launch party, but I would imagine we'll have sound effects when you get near like farm equipment. You should hear some chugga 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 when you're when you're walking through there. So yeah, one area we are doing the spatial sound effects already is like when you leave the dance floor, it's pretty epic because you're flying away and you can hear the dance club, but then it's like fading into the background, and this new overworld music comes in. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and we'll be able to do a lot more with that. Like as you go from landmark to landmark, the music will just dynamically change to what you should be hearing when you're standing in that particular point. So those are the little things that make the world feel more authentic, more real, and natural. Let's see, Goobs, do you have any others? I think we got some stickers we want to show off. I wanted to make sure we could wrap the show up by showing off some of the animations, and there's been a lot of progress on this front. They said the team was just in a team call in the Gotchiverse, dancing together and using these stickers. And so you can see when you're playing on your keyboard, you'll just hit the R key and this radial will pop up, and it looks like a big piece of pie. And you can go from stickers to actions. There's kind of two areas there. And one side gives you a bunch of giant pop-up stickers that you can use to express yourself in the Gotchiverse. And actions will give you a bunch of different animations. Maybe we don't have video right now to share of those animations, but I think we can get that to you if you come back next week. I promise to bring some of the new animations. They're looking great. The gotchis can become so lively. Like we've got them jumping around, hands in the air, being spooky, doing things that ghosts would do. And so been very, very happy with the animations and the thought that's gone into those. I'll give you one example. There's an animation that isn't even on the radial. It's just a hotkey. So if you hit, I think it's like going to be like the N key or the M key for some reason, but regardless, you're going to hit a key and it's the follow me button. And it's like, I feel like that's something that will be very useful in a metaverse environment where you just want like to encourage people to come over to stand where you are or to follow you to some point. Anytime you hit that key, your gotchi does this like big bend the arm thing and basically calls out for them to like follow you. And if you're leading the parade or guiding people to your parcel or whatever, I feel like that's something we did a lot in the 2D one, is get like parades of gotchis marching around together. And so you'll have a hotkey with an animation to help you organize people and get them to follow you if you're interested in being a leader.
Yeah, it's awesome. I would tell you, I want to see some of these stickers as GIFs or whatever on X. Like I would love to use some of these.
Yeah, good point. Good point. They should live outside the Gotchiverse as well. And we're kind of going both directions with it. We could bring these out of the Gotchiverse, get them into sticker packs on Telegram, Discord. You said X could be good. And then the other way we're doing it is, I think people will feel very pleased when they're in the Gotchiverse and find some of their other hidden hotkeys. And there's going to be hotkeys that let you use different emotes from our Aavegotchi Discord. And so these things, I feel like they're in our DNA. Like we've had these emotes for years. They're some of the most classic ones. I think there's a half dozen of them. And you're going to be able to like flash those anytime you want just by hitting different hotkeys. So you'll be able to flash the heart or the diamond, the Mudgeon diamond, among others. There's about 6 of them. So yeah. And Z-Bot's here. He says, these stickers are a must for IRL. And yeah, you're right. These should also be stickers that we give out at ETH Denver or any other conferences we're going to. So yeah, I'm very excited about where it's at. I think that we've focused a lot on bringing the gotchi to life. I think we'll have to show off more animations next week so you can see what I'm talking about. But there's the radio, all these different animations, and it's a really important piece. Is like you want to really celebrate and enjoy your Aavegotchi first and foremost, and doing that when you're in the heat of battle in Spirit Force or Guardians or any other game is okay. But the metaverse, you can actually relax and just enjoy your Aavegotchi and animate it, bring it to life, play with it. and communicate with others. So that's been a big piece. And then, like we talked about in the first half, it's also making sure that when you think of the Gotchiverse, you should think of exclusive mints. When you go to the Gotchiverse, you know that's where you go to get exclusive mints on Geist. And so I think in that sense, we're putting our best foot forward by having actually a very bespoke, very unique infrastructure on our back end that allows us to basically mint various NFTs in real time based on your activity inside the game. So that's something that like not everyone can do, and we're going to lean into that because that's kind of something we can do. And the time is and the effort's been put in there to build that out ever since work on Spirit Force started a year plus ago, a year and a half ago. And so we're making the most of all this different tech and these different tools that we built for ourselves over the years, and we're letting those, do what you're good at, right? So these are the unique tools we have available to us. So we're going to lean into those and lead with those at the launch party.
Amazing. Yeah, it's great to see and exciting, because we're less than a month away, or about a month away. No, a little less than a month away from this happening. So friends, keep an eye out for all this.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe we just recap here to wrap up the hour. We can end Goobs, if you got any more video footage of the Gotchiverse. I think if anything, we just haven't shown enough footage of the Gotchiverse today. So I see one queued up. Go ahead and let that rip. And while we see the concept art here in motion, we can also just talk a little bit about the headlines that you may have missed if you weren't here for the beginning of the call, because it really is a couple of them in particular need to be called out again. The testnet for Geist, called Polter, ironically, is going live very, very soon. We're talking hours to days. As soon as we get this RPC thing patted down, I think we are good to go. So everybody should be on the lookout for that. We're going to be able to start testing our migration, moving things like the Aavegotchi Bazaar, all those smart contracts from Polygon to Geist, from Base to Geist, and so that's a very big deal. So you may want to be following along with that. There may be some ways that you can participate in helping us test and interact with this testnet. We're going to use this testnet a lot over the next few weeks. And stay in the Aavegotchi Discord, follow our Twitter, because I guarantee there's going to be some ways for you to help us and be rewarded for doing so. So that's coming up. And then, here we're just clipping through a lot of concept art, work in progress stuff. Bear in mind, a lot of what you're seeing is already maybe weeks to months old. Some of it is very new, like this beachfront here is relatively new. But yeah, this is all like beautiful visuals of the world coming together. You can actually see some of the work here from a team call. And just kind of giving you guys a look at what we're building. What you see there is the Gotchi backpack, we're jokingly calling it. It's like a big inventory for your Gotchi. So you're going to basically be able to carry 4 items on the bottom in your hot tray, but then you have expansion for more carrying capacity. We have a modal built out for that as well. That'll be more useful as we get more items, more pickups, and more of that MMORPG type of gameplay played out. We may not even include that inventory for the launch party because we don't need 20 slots of items yet. But the day will come, and we're ready for it. So, I hope this was good. I would love to share more like this in the future. So I think, the Alpha Hour is for all things Aavegotchi, but I'd love to at least have a segment each week where we do provide a little bit of the latest on Gotchiverse, especially as we approach the launch. So let us know in the comments what you want to know more about, what you want to see, any questions you have from this. And we'll try to, come back next week and address some of those and highlight the areas you're most interested in. All right. Well, with that, No Future, thanks again for riding with me. Let's have a great rest of the week, and I'll probably see you and hopefully many of our listeners here in the Discord on Saturday, 2 p.m. UTC. We always have a 1-hour community call hangout, and we just chill and hear from everybody, all the builders in the Aavegotchi space. It's casual, it's fun. We learn a lot, we share a lot, And then we follow that immediately with a second hour that's dedicated to actual proposals in the Aavegotchi DAO. So you don't want to miss that. That's where you can really get in and get involved and cut your teeth in a proper DAO. So yeah, that's every Saturday. So have a great rest of your week. Hope to see you Saturday in the Discord. And yeah, talk to you all very, very soon.
Bye.
Peace.